Alright, so here's a short video on writing linear equations. And this is going to be review for us because we've done this quite a bit in this course. So we're going to go through it real quick. Most of you are already going to know it, but I just want to review it with you just in case you've forgotten. So if you have forgotten, there are three forms to our linear equations. The first one is point slope, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where m is the slope of the line, and then x1, y1 is any point on our line. Okay, that's the most generic form because it can use any point that we have on the line. The second one we're going to look at, a little more specific, it is slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. This is going to be the one that most of you remember because we use this one most often when we write equations, where m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. Another way of thinking about that y-intercept is our 0 point. If we're looking at it in a table, it's where the x value is 0. That y value there would be the b value that we plug into that form. Last one, standard form, ax plus by equals c. A couple of rules about this one when we talked about it. A, b, and c all have to be integers. They cannot be decimals or fractions. And a has to be a positive number. It can't be negative. Now really we went over all of these, but the one we're going to focus on and write our equations today is slope-intercept form. Okay, so we're going to look at three examples, and they're all going to be written in slope-intercept form, as is the homework you're going to do today in Schoology. So here's our first example. It says slope-intercept form, so we know it's got to be y equals mx plus b. So we need two things. We need to have, whoops, sorry about that. We need to have the slope and the y-intercept. The y-intercept, I can see that that's in my table. That is my 0 point. So I know that this 2 here, that's going to be my b value. I don't have to do any math to find that one because I notice it's in the table. I do have to do math to find the slope. And to find the slope, it is the change in the y column over the change in the x column. So we look here, and we're going to look and see, well, how did I get from -6 to -2? It's going up, and it's going up by 4. So it's a positive 4 increase over here in the y column. And then in the x column, we're going from -2 to -1. That's an increase of 1. I keep skipping to this next example. Must really want to do it. Let me go back. Figure out our slope here. 4 over 1, and 4 over 1 becomes 4, and I'm going to want you to write that 4, not the fraction. Now if it's a fraction that doesn't reduce down to a number, a whole number, or reduces down to another fraction, that's perfectly fine, use that. But if it reduces to a whole number, I'd rather you use the whole number. So now we know our slope, we know our y-intercept. We're going to rewrite our problem. Y equals 4x plus 2, and there is our equation for this table. Okay, let's look at the next example here. Again, I notice right off the bat that it's got a 0 point, so I know that that's going to be my b value. I don't have to do any work to find it. Okay, we're going to put it in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Well, let's find our slope. We're looking at the change in the y column. How did I get from 30 to 24? That's getting smaller, and it's getting smaller by 6. So -6 over here in this column from 0 to 1, it's going up by 1. So our slope, now it's skipping to this example. I apologize, guys. Slope would be m equals -6 over 1, and that becomes the whole number -6. So now I have my slope and I have my intercept, so let's write it. Y equals -6x plus 30. And there is our equation in slope-intercept form. Great. Last example. Okay, if I look at this table, I notice right off the bat there is no 0 point. So I know that I'm going to have to find the b value. as well as the, excuse me guys, let's go to our example here. Find the b value as well as the slope. Okay, so let's get this in a presentation mode real quick. Sorry guys. Okay, find the b value and the slope. Well, let's look here. I'm going from 13 to 17, that's an increase of 4. And over here, from 2 to 3, that's an increase of 1. So I know that my slope is going to be 4 over 1. Now if I want to find that b value, I have to add to my table. I'm going to work my way up. I need 1, and I really want to get to that 0 point. So if I think about it, I have to do 2 skips in this table. And if I'm adding going this direction, if I want to go the other direction in the table, that means I'm going to have to subtract in order to make my numbers fit the pattern. So, like I said, to get from here to here, we added 4. I'm going to go up. That means I'm going to subtract 4. 13 minus 4 is 9. So it's 1, 9. Then I'm going to subtract 4 a second time in order to get to that 0 point. 9 minus 4 is 5. So that is my b value. I'm going to write it in my form. Y equals 4x plus 5. Okay, now again, make sure we use that positive 4, not the minus 4 to find the b. The 4 from the slope that we found going down the table. Okay, so those are your examples. You have 5 of these for homework in a Schoology assignment. Be sure to ask me questions if you need to. Again, this is a review. I know you've seen it before. Hopefully you remembered it, but if not, hopefully this video will jog your memory.